In a small kingdom, surrounded by golden fields and sparkling streams, there lived a young princess named Leena. She was loved for her kind heart and quick wit, but there was one thing she struggled with: finishing what she started. If Leena began weaving a basket, she'd grow bored halfway through and leave the reeds scattered on the floor. If she planted seeds in the royal garden, she'd forget to water them. Even her embroidery hoops sat abandoned, threads tangled and incomplete. The palace staff tried to gently encourage her. "Princess, wouldn't it be wonderful to see your basket finished?" the maid would ask. "Perhaps," Leena would reply with a shrug. But starting something new is much more exciting. One day, her father, King Eldric, invited her to walk through the royal garden. The once thriving space was now overgrown with weeds and scattered with half-finished projects. There was a patch of soil with tiny sprouts that had wilted from neglect, a stone path only half laid, and a fountain Leena had started decorating with colorful tiles but abandoned halfway. "Leena," the king said gently, "this garden is a reflection of you." Leena tilted her head. "What do you mean?" The king gestured to the garden. "You're full of wonderful ideas, but you often leave them unfinished. Each project is like a plant. If you don't care for it to the end, it withers." Leena frowned. "But finishing is so hard, father. I always get stuck, and it feels easier to start something else." The king thought for a moment, then smiled. "Let me teach you something I learned when I was young. When a task feels too big, focus only on the next step. Complete one part before worrying about the rest." Leena looked around the messy garden. Could she really turn it into something beautiful? "I'll try," she said, though she wasn't entirely convinced. The next morning, Leena stood in the garden, unsure where to begin. Then she remembered her father's advice. One part at a time," she murmured. She started with the weeds. Pulling them out one by one, she cleared the ground until the soil looked fresh and rich. Next, she watered the tiny sprouts she had planted weeks ago, smiling as their leaves perked up. Then she moved to the stone path, laying each stone carefully until the path stretched all the way to the fountain. By the time the sun dipped low in the sky, Leena was exhausted but proud. The garden wasn't completely finished, but it was already more beautiful than it had been in months. Over the next few days, Leena kept working, one step at a time. She tied ribbons around the rose bushes, finished tiling the fountain, and even replanted some flowers in neat rows. Slowly but surely, the garden transformed into a magical space bursting with color and life. One morning, the king came to see her progress. His eyes widened with delight as he looked around. "Leena, this is incredible! You've done such a wonderful job." Leena beamed. "I just focused on one thing at a time, like you said. It wasn't as hard as I thought once I got started." The king placed a hand on her shoulder. "And how does it feel to finish something you started?" Leena grinned. "It feels amazing. I didn't just create a beautiful garden. I proved to myself that I can do anything if I take it step by step." From that day on, Leena carried her father's lesson with her. Whether she was weaving a basket, embroidering a tapestry, or even helping to organize a village festival, she approached each task with patience and focus. And whenever she finished something, she always thought of her garden, a place that had taught her the value of seeing things through to the end.